Good afternoon to all, my dear friends. Today we are going to see, today we are dealing with the lecture on a geomorphology. What is the geomorphology? The objective behind this one is till now you see the basics of the geology. What is the geology? Different branches of earth sciences, different branches of your geosciences, geology, and what about the Earth, Sun, different how the Earth has been behave in your what solar panel or solar system. So this all basics we did till now we seen all these basics. So now the today's lecture is about the geomorphology. What is the geomorphology and what is the geological time scale is all about and all. So before going to the geology, we will just see the how the geological time scale has been running from the oldest to the youngest one. So you have a zircon crystal as the oldest one, which giving you the times formation of the earth, that how the earth has been formed and uh, how the your different time has been divided. So what does the geological time scale is representing? The geological time scale is representing the history of the earth based on the life form that have existed during the specific time since the creation of the planet. These division are called a geochronologic unit. These division are called geochronologic unit, and rock. The geochronology is nothing but the geo means rock and chronology means time. This is known as the geochronologic unit. Most of these life forms are found as a fossil. Most of these life forms are found as a fossil, which are the remains or traces of an organism from the geological past that has been preserved in a sediment or rocks. So, without fossils, scientists may not have the concluded the Earth has been history that long preceded of mankind. So, most of these life forms are found in a fossil. So, geological time scale has been divided specifically into the following division. What that divisions are? The divisions are eon, era, and period and epoch. Eon, era, period, and epoch. That is a four different division of the Earth. Okay, this is a four different division of the. So, what is the geological time scale? The geological time scale, due to the fact that early geologists had no way to knowing how the discoveries of the earth were going to develop, geologists over time have put the time scale together pieces by pieces. Geologists will put the time together piece by piece, and then they combine the all this history. So units were named as they were discovered. Sometimes units name are borrowed from the local geography, from the person, or from the type of rock they are dominating. So, for example, how we name the different geological time scale. So, first one is the Cambrian. The Cambrian is coming from the Latin name, that is a Wales. Cambrian is coming from the Latin word, that is a Wales. It is named for the exposure or of strata found in a type section in Wales by the British geologist Adam Sedgwick. So this is one of the example how we rename the this one. Then you have a Devonian, that is a another period in the Cambrian era only. So Devonian is named after the significant outcrop first discovered near the Devonshire. Okay, name after it is named after the significant outcrop first discovered near the Devonshire. That is the name of the place. That's how you have renamed this. All this one is a Devonian. Then you have a Jurassic. It's a name after Jura Mountain by the German geologist Humboldt. So Humboldt is one of the uh, great scientists of that time, German geologist. So one of the fellowship is also there for Humboldt fellowship. And so so you have a Jura mountain. You have a Jura mountain by the German geologist, and from the Latin Creta means chalk. Creta means chalk by a Belgian geologist. The earlier time of the earth is called as a Hadean, and it refers to a period of a time. It refers to a period of a time which is refer to the period of time which is have a no rock record, means you don't have any record for that time. Rest of time you have all the records. Okay, so while the unit making up the time scale are called as a geochronological unit, the actual rock formed during those specific time interval are called a chronostratigraphic unit. Okay, so the actual rock formed during those specific time interval are called as a chronostratigraphic unit. The actual rock record of the period is called as a system. So the rocks from the Cambrian period are of the Cambrian system. Then you have a a geological time scale. What the geological time scale is suggesting? The Earth age of the Earth is 4.6 billion year. It contains and congealed from the nebula or dust or gas or icy comet. The scale of a geological time is divided into eon, era, period, and epoch. So this is a different scales of the geological time scale. Then you have a life in the Zoic. So then you have Paleo means old, Meso means middle, and recent. So what is mean by Zoic is a life. So Proterozoic is a former or anterior means of earlier one. Then you have Phanerozoic. So this is all are the different kind of things with teaching. Then you have eons. Then you have eons. So eons is nothing but a Precambrian. Eon is nothing but a Precambrian, that is the earliest span of time. Phanerozoic is everything since. Era is divided into three different parts. Era is divided into three different parts. What that parts are? The parts is Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cenozoic. Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cenozoic. This is the three different eras we have. Eon, era, then we come to the later stage of period. The periods are Cambrian, Ordovician, and Silurian. Periods are Cambrian, Ordovician, and Silurian, and Devonian. So this is the four different kind of periods we have. Then we have Carboniferous. Then we have a Carboniferous, a Permian, Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous. We have a Carboniferous in Permian, Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous. The Paleogene, Neogene, and Quaternary. Paleogene, Neogene, and Quaternary. So this is the different periods we have. The epoch is the different epoch. What the epoch we have? The Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene. This is the three different epochs. And you have Miocene and Pliocene, the different epochs for Neogene. Then you have Pleistocene and Holocene. So this is a different kind of epoch, and this one you have. So this one is having the Earth is having a 4.6 billion year history, in which what we have. So now come to the topic why we study the geomorphology. Why we study the geomorphology. So understanding the present. So whatever the present we understanding, that will help to understand interpret the past. So that is a uniformism. That is known as uniformism. Here it gives the Wikipedia link for the definition and all of this one. So you have a James Sutton. So this one is a given by the James Sutton. So what is a geomorphology? What is geomorphology? So geomorphology is nothing but the word is derived from the Greek word geo. So geomorphology is word that is derived from the Greek word geo, which is earth, and morpho, which is form. It is derived from the Greek word geo means earth, and morpho means form. So geomorph means the geo means earth and morph means form. So earth form. So this geomorphology is a discourse of on the discourse on the earth form. It's a science. Geomorphology is science that treat the general configuration of the earth surface in the term of classification and description of the nature, origin, development, and landform, and the relationship it to underlying structure and the history of geological changes. By examining the above definition, above definition, we can classify the geomorphology. We can classify the geomorphology in a process of functional geomorphology. The process of functional geomorphology, that is your geomorphology. Then you have a historical geomorphology. Then we have a historical geomorphology. Geomorphology studies form, process, and history of the earth. So when we talk about the classification of geomorphology, geomorphology has got different classification which made the study about the physical configuration of the earth well hidden. Basically, geomorphology is classified as a function or process geomorphology and historical geomorphology. Historical geomorphology, traditionally the historical geomorphologists strove to work out a landscape history by the mapping morphological and sedimentary feature. Their golden rule was the dictum that present is the key to the past. So this was always been used to study the geology. Present is the key to the past. So whatever the sources, whatever the remains we available right now with us, that all are we study in the this section using the law. Present is key to the past means whatever the material we have right now, that all can be studied for the future. Okay. So some of the most notable scholar in the category are William David Morris. This one are the some of the uh, great learned scientists, geoscientists. So you have two different theories, catastrophism and uniformism. In geology and geomorphology, plantation surface is a large scale surface that is almost flat with the possible exception of some residual hill. The process that forms plantation surfaces are labeled collectively plantation and are exogenic. Plantation surfaces are planted regardless of the bedrock structure. On Earth, they constitute some of the most common landscape. So you have a different kind of land type. So what the principle of uniformism, what the principle of catastrophism is say? Uniformism say the present is key to the past, whereas catastrophism say that recent geological history strongly decoupled from the past. Okay, so it is having a contrasting thing. It is having some contrasting thing. The assumption is both are giving some other assumption. The assumption given by the uniform theory that geological processes are natural, slow, operate unchanged over a long time period at about same rate and deal with the same material. No directly the geological time has been there. So Lilly early on rejected the notion of the organic change, uniformism. Catastrophism is a recent geological history, that is your one. So this is a more evidences for uniformism. Scientists make a observation. Scientists make a observation of an event or an object and then try to explain those observations by organizing them into logical system. As rocks are bodies, as rock or bodies can cover extensive area and represent vast point of period of time. Much of geological research cannot be done as a controlled experiment in a formal laboratory setting. In this situation, we rely on the assumption that physical, chemical, and biological laws are constant. So that is the process operating today are the same as those that is operated in the past. For instance, since water flow downhill today, it must have done some of the operated or it since water rocks are exhibit characteristics since those found in the model geological environment, we assume that it must have formed in a similar manner. So whatever the formation we have, we can have the idea about what kind of formation or what kind of things they have compiled with. So you have catastrophic theories. Uh, George Cuvier, George Cuvier, a great catastrophic flood produced unconformities and carved earth unchanged. So this one is one of the great paleontologists. Paleontology is a branch which study with the deals with the study of what we can say. It deals with the study of fossil remain. Okay, fossil is the remain of the organism. Fossil is the remain of the organism, and then you have a paleontology is a subject which study all this process. So how did Cuvier arrive at a catastrophic view of the Earth's history? He realized that the extinction has been common in past eras. One residue would be disappear and another arise in a strata. If species do not transmute, if species do not transmute, uh, if the species do not transmute this one, so whatever whatever the our they study about the succession and all, they just come to know about the what kind of things are there in the past. Then you have two main lines of evidences. You have a two main line of evidences. So this is all about the general introduction about this geomorphology. Now we will see from this PPT that how we can study the geomorphology and all. Okay. So what the geological time scale is about? Geological time scale is divided into different parts. Then you have Earth history. Earth history is having a sum of the events. Okay, Earth history is having a sum of the events. So, what is the geomorphology? So, geomorphology is a Greek word. Geo means earth, and morpho means form. Therefore, geomorphology is a discourse on a earth form. Geomorphology is a discourse on a earth form. It is a science that treats a general configuration of the earth surface in terms of classification and description of nature, origin, and development of landform. So, you have a classification of geomorphology into the different terms, like you have a historical geomorphology, okay, then you have a modern historical, and you have a process geomorphology. So this is a different kind of geomorphology we have. Then you have a catastrophism versus uniformitism. You have a catastrophism versus uh, uniformitism. So, the modern river channel is ancient river channel and modern river channel, you can see that there is a certain difference between these two. Okay, so you can have evidences. From these evidences you can easily see this one. There is a two main line of evidences for catastrophism. Large scale mechanism is involved. A large scale mechanism is violence and involved in this one. So whereas you have a two type of process in geomorphology, you have a two different type of process in a geomorphology. What are different kind of processes? The different kind of processes are your, what we can say, uh, James Hutton giving a James Hutton is considered as a, what we can say, the gentleman geologist. So one of, also known as the father of, which is also known as the father of geology. So James Hutton is nothing but a gentleman geologist who study this geology subject very vastly and given some of the theories. So Hutton suggests that Hutton, before the Hutton, that there is a theory of Huttonian theory of the earth. Stream carve their own drainage system, and the earth is very ancient, ongoing process continue to change it. So the different scientist is having a different view. Different scientist is having a different view, and this different view is having a what we can say, the a different kind of activities. So this is again, after this one you have a Charles Darwin, which recorded the observation during the Beagle and suggested origin of atolls. So you have certain theories that has been terms rejected and sometimes get accepted for the different processes. Now you have a concept of equilibrium. Now we have a concept of equilibrium. What is the concept of equilibrium? The concept of equilibrium means a balance in geomorphology. Equilibrium means balance. In geomorphology, it refers to the no net changes equally in terms of the balance between the deposition and erosion. A balance between deposition and erosion, uplift and downcutting, or soil production and removal. The equilibrium is strived for the but seldom achieved. Equilibrium is strived but seldom achieved. So what is the fuel equilibrium? A recent uplift in axis of erosional rate result in a system that is out of equilibrium. So weathering and erosion dominate headland areas with the removal material being transported to the depositional basin. As the headland recede, both erosional and depositional rates decrease. If the region remains stable for an extended period, equilibrium where the erosional and depositional rate are good. Then you have a base level. What is the base level? Base level is the level below which erosion cannot occur and above which deposition does not take place. So two things are there. Base level is known as below which erosion cannot occur and above which deposition does not take place. So that is known as your base level. Then you have a sea level. Then you have a sea level. Sea level is the ultimate base level. Sea level is the ultimate base level. Lakes and reservoir provide a temporary base level because the area and this one is always changes. So that's why you have a lakes and reservoir is having a temporary base level. Then you have a change in the sea level. Then you have a change in the sea level. Can be eustatic or relative. Changes in a base level create a destroyer accommodation space. Then you have a deltas represent a battle between fuel and marine process. Delta morphologies are the highly influenced by which this process is dominate. So then you have a geomorphic process. You have a geomorphic process, the process which is responsible for the formation of alteration of Earth's surface, and the physical and forces acting upon its produce a landform. The process are determined by the such a natural environment variable as geology, climate, vegetation, and base level. So, to say and nothing of a human interface. The definition of the geomorphological process are all of physical and chemical changes which effect on modification of Earth surgical form. This is a basic funda or basic one for the to be a geomorphologist. Okay, you need to be a more this one. The approach by which the earth landform are changed or maintained. Then the more important thing about after the geomorphology, what is the geomorphologic process? What is the geomorphic process? So in geomorphic process, you have a river which is having a human geomorphic environment. Wind, wind is on suggested the more wind we have arid environment. The glacier ice is known as polar environment, and then you have coastal environment. So this is the all are the agent of the environment. So what the geomorphic process is saying that the process responsible for information or formation of alteration of the earth surface, the physical and chemical interaction, the physical and chemical interaction between the earth surface and the natural forces acting upon the producer landform. The process are the process are determined by the such a natural agent environment, and uh, the geomorphic process are of those process which having a physical and chemical changes. Then you have agents like process and product. Agent, process, and product. So river is one of the agent. Wind is one of the agent. Then you have glacier, one of the agent, and wave is another agent. All these four agent is involved in our having in a different climate. So river is producing humid and the river is producing the humid and geomorphic environment. Wind, you know, the arid environment. Glacier is a polar one, and waves is a coastal environment. So whenever you want that what is all about, you can have this approach. So the agent, process, and product. So when you first have a erosion, first have erosion. Erosion is transport rocks and deposit it. This is a you are nothing but a geomorphic feature. This is a geomorphic feature. So this first picture is showing the river activities. First picture is showing the river activities. Then you have a a wind activity. Then you have a wind activity where you have a Barkian sand and all has been formed. Then you have a glacier activity and waves activity. So uh, these all are the agent which is responsible for the change. So process is erosion, the product is erosional landform. Process is transportation, the process product is transportation of the this one. Then you have deposition. Then we have deposition. You have a depositional landform feature. So this is all are the agent, process, and product. Then you have a geomorphic process. Then you have a geomorphic process. What is geomorphic process? Is a terrestrial process and also extraterrestrial process, exogenic and endogenic. So extraterrestrial and terrestrial plant processes are the different one, and What about the exogenetic process? Exogenetic process are the process which is operating on a earth, above the earth. Then you have a endogenetic process. Then you have a endogenetic process. You have a type of geomorphic process. One is terrestrial processes, one is extraterrestrial processes. One is terrestrial process and one is extraterrestrial process. So exogenetic or exogenetic are the processes which is a terrestrial process. So this is one of the I think you already been study or how the meteorite has been formed. How the meteorite has been formed. As we are very enough uh, this one that this whatever the meteorites are we are facing, that all destroy exosphere and the upper layer of atmosphere, so they cannot receive till the your point or till the your this one. So then you have a exogenetic and endogenetic processes. You have a exogenetic and endogenetic process. So exogenetic is the outer geomorphological process and endogenetic is a inner geomorphological process. So these both are a very important process. The basic difference between two processes are originated in the interior of the earth, originated on the surface of the earth. Process a slow movement, process a sudden movement in endogenic process. Then you have a earthquake. Then you have earthquake, faulting, and diatropism. So this is all are the process of the earth. Then you have a exogenetic process. First one you have originated on the surface of the earth, originated on the surface of the earth, causes slow movement, and that is erosional and depositional. So you have a type of exogenetic and endogenetic or exogenetic process. So weathering, erosion, degradation, transportation, deposition, and uh, mass movement. These all are the exogenetic subjects. So these all are the exogenetic processes which operating, and either erosion or transportation of uh, erosion, degradation, and transportation. If you say law, so this one is a not. So weathering, first of all, weathering is what? Weathering is a process by which the rock on the other one, the rock which is on the other side is get. So weathering is nothing but the weathering is nothing but the your what we can say a process. Weathering is nothing but a process by which the rock of the surface of the earth is broken mechanically into pieces due to snow or forest frost, and the variation and the variation of temperature and pressure are due to chemical action on the material. Even the rocks are dislodged. Even the rocks are dislodged by the animals, but the rocks, whether this way, are not transported elsewhere. So you have erosion. Then after the weathering, you need erosion. Erosion is a transportation of the accomplished uh, together. Sedimentation is the process by which sediment is mechanically deposited from the suspension. Sediment is mechanically deposited from the suspension within a fluid, generally water, ice, generally water, ice, thereby accumulating as a layer of difference. Layer of difference. So this is about your sedimentation. Then you have mass movement and mass wasting. You have mass movement and mass wasting. Uh, so this one is a mass movement on a large scale where you can see there is a cars and all are get ruptured because maybe they are going straight but the this one. So this is a geomorphological disadvantage of not studying the geomorphology. You cannot know the what the slope is accurate for your construction. Then you have then we have a endogenetic processes. What that endogenetic processes are? The endogenetic processes are faulting and folding, volcanism, earthquake, landslide, diastrophism, metamorphic. A fold is a planar or gravity curve fracture in the rock of the earth crust where compressional or tensional forces cause relative displacement of rock on the opposite side of the fracture. Fold is the undulation or wave in the stratified rock of the earth crust. Can occur when one or a mass of originally flat planar surface which is sedimentary strata are bent or curved as a result of permanent deformation. So then the next topic is a volcanism. Next topic is a volcanism. Volcanism eruption of modern uh, what we can say molten rock onto the surface of the earth. So where lava and volcanic gases erupt through the break in the surface called a vent. Eruption of the volcano Eruption of the volcano or the magma is the main sources of igneous rock on the surface of the earth. You have earthquake. Earthquake is a vibration. Earthquake is a vibration and the oscillation of the surface. The vibration or oscillation is a surface of or showing the surface of the this figure. So the earthquake is a vibration or oscillation of the surf earth caused by the sudden release of enormous pressure. So where you find that enormous pressure from the then you have a landslide. Landslide also known as the land. Uh, so landslide are landscape which include a wide range of ground movement such as rockfall, deep failure of slope, and shallow debris. A shallow debris flow, which can occur in a offshore, coastal, and onshore environment. Then you have a diatropism. You have a diatropism. Diatropism is also called as a tectonics, also called as tectonism, a large-scale deformation of earth crust by natural processes known as diatropism. Then you have metamorphic, is a change in the crystal structure, not so the on a metamorphic rock is change in a rock structure or so size is not changing, just a chemical composition. So it is process of a change in the physical structure of the rock as a result. Then you have fundamental of geomorphology. The fundamental of geomorphology are micro scale in landform. So this one is a fundamental of geomorphology. So first you have the energy of all the Earth is solar system of the this one. So this is a unique. So we have a geological cycle schemes. Geological cycle scheme is what we have. So one is the hydrological cycle and uh, what we can say the rock cycle. So the endogenesis process are large scale. Endogenesis process are large scale landform. They create uh, they create So you have this endogenesis process and tectonic process. So this is what you may see. This one is on the last time. So what is this? This is a photo, which is very common, mummy and all. So the Potter, so the in geology examination refer to the so you have a examination. Exemption is almost synonym for the denudation. This is this one is a different because today different processes, different ideas about this one. So alumina is this is a three-tier process. Alumina erosion and transportation call can be on this one and transportation and deposition they will be another. This is our river which having showing the uh, what we can have Barkians. What we can have Barkians. So agent, process and product. Agent, process and product. So erosion, transportation and deposition. Erosion, transportation and deposition. Erosional landform feature, transformation and depositional this one. So this is all are the study which we carry out will be we carry out uh, by the these processes. This is all from this today's lecture. Now you can see this 10 MCQ question, 10 MCQ question, and you can solve it. Of the following statement regarding our solar system is incorrect. What are the planetary associated with their formula? What is the Earth magnetic field? Thought to be a what is the Earth magnetic field? One thrust of the Earth. One thrust of the Earth. Which of the following statement regarding our solar system are incorrect? Uh, no, incorrect. The answer solar system are is it incorrect or not? This is all about today's lecture. Hope you something get something and having friends to your part that whenever this geomorphology is a very important one and the basic of geomorphology what we are today seeing is a gaining a much important in a day to day. So now I am going to close the. So hope you enjoy this lecture and this one is available shortly on some any of the social media. So if you want to learn this one, you can contact me on my mail ID and mobile number for this one. So this is all about the uh, introduction to geomorphology. This is all about the geomorphological introduction and whatever the study till now has been carried out. Whatever the studies we have carried out till now, so mostly are having a on a plane mechanism. So this is all from the today's lecture. Hope you understand. And now I'm going.